it's a really awesome study in the Bible is to trace the line of the Messiah. So here, God just pronounces one is coming. It's going to be a son of Eve. So we know it's going to be a human being. That's all we know at this point. But then in Genesis 12 and 12, we find out that, you know, there's all these human beings and there's all these different family lines at that point in history. And then God chooses Abraham and he says, it's one of your offspring. So now it's like, okay, it's not going to be all these other lines. It's Abraham's line, right? And then
you gotta filter now.
Yeah, now we got to filter it. But then, you know, Abraham actually has several different lines that come from him. And then God says it's going to be through Isaac. And then it's going to be through Jacob. And then Jacob has 12 sons, right? And then in Genesis 49, God does this awesome prophecy about Judah. So it's going to be through Judah's line. So God, it just keeps getting narrowed down and honed in on where this one who will crush the serpent's head is coming from. And then later on, we see many generations later, King David is born. And God makes a promise to him. He says, it's going to be one of your sons. And it's like, okay. And then you get all the way. So we know it's going to be the seed of Eve, the seed of Abraham, the seed of David. And then Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, Matthew's writing his gospels to Jewish people who are familiar with this Old Testament storyline of the Messiah. And he's going to try and convince them that Jesus of Nazareth is the Messiah prophesied about in these scriptures. So how does he begin the first sentence of his gospel to these people? He says, this is the good news about Jesus, the Messiah, the son of Abraham, the son of David. And then he goes into a genealogy to prove that Jesus fits all the prophecies of where this was going to come from, because a Jewish person is not even going to give him the time of day. If he's not a son of David, a son of Abraham, I'm not even going to listen to all your arguments that this guy's the Messiah, because he has to be one of those.
Yeah. If you don't have a genealogy at all, they ain't listening. So
And it's a big deal. Like I'll just read this real quick. We'll get into this more. I know we will later, but I love this scripture. I'm looking it up. It's in Revelation 22. This is the resurrected Jesus at the end of the book of the Revelation. Okay. Verse 16 in chapter 22. It says, I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this message for the churches. And then he says, I am both the source of David and the heir to his throne. Is that awesome?
It's amazing.
The resurrected Jesus, these Old Testament prophecies, they matter to him even then. After he's been resurrected, he's died, he's made atonement, he's done all that already. And he says, guys, I am the source of David. In other words, I'm the son of God. I created David. Like David came from, I created him. But he says, but I'm also the heir to his throne. I'm the seed, the descendant of David. That's prophesied about. We'll get into that later on in other chapters. But I just wanted to, at this point, kind of just tease out a little bit of the rest of the biblical storyline following this Messianic trail.